In a world where comparisons between Breaking Bad and Westeros rage on through ratings and online debates, it's surprising where the true magic of Game of Thrones now feels most alive. Not in sprawling dragon wars or massive kingdom-defining spectacles, but in something far more intimate. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms emerges not as a loud successor, but as a soulful reminder of what once made Westeros extraordinary. With just 6 tightly crafted episodes in its first season, the show delivers a deeply personal story that feels closer to the emotional core of peak Game of Thrones than any spectacle-driven spin-off. At the heart of the story is Sir Duncan the Tall Dunk, a lowborn hedge knight with a simple yet powerful dream: to become a true knight and live an honorable life. After the death of his mentor, he sets out not in pursuit of glory or power, but dignity. Dunk doesn't want to rule kingdoms or command armies, he wants to be good. He wants to protect the innocent, serve with honor, and rise above the insignificance that has defined his existence. His dream is painfully human, less about fame and more about worth. Traveling alongside him is Egg, a highborn Aegon Targaryen in disguise, who becomes Dunk's squire. At first, their partnership is accidental. Eventually, it becomes deliberate and deeply meaningful. The contrast between them is striking. Dunk is physically imposing but intellectually naive, earnest, emotional, and sometimes foolish. Egg, though young and seemingly fragile, is sharp, politically aware, and frighteningly intelligent. He understands the Game of Thrones in a way Dunk never could. And yet, it is precisely this dynamic that makes their bond so compelling. What makes the show remarkable is its restraint. There are no dragons dominating the skies, no massive armies clashing across continents, no throne room conspiracies threatening the fate of the realm. Instead, the narrative unfolds in modest settings: fields, villages, tournament grounds. Much of the season takes place within a limited geographical space, almost like a stage play set against the vastness of Westeros countryside. Nature plays a prominent role, offering a quiet reminder that beyond politics and chaos, life can still be humble and beautiful. This intimacy is what gives the story its emotional weight. It feels like a side quest in the grand world of Westeros, yet paradoxically, it feels more personal and important than many large-scale conflicts. The show captures something rare for this universe: wholesomeness. There's innocence here, especially in Dunk's belief that being a knight simply means being good. But as the episodes unfold, we watch that innocence slowly fracture. The cost of honor becomes painfully clear. Achieving one's dream, the show suggests, may require sacrificing parts of oneself that once defined you. The tournament arc, particularly the Trial of Seven, marks the emotional and technical peak of the season. The fights are brutal, grounded, and shockingly real. There is chaos, exhaustion, fear, none of the polished heroics typical of fantasy epics. When Dunk fights, he isn't invincible. He's terrified, overwhelmed, and often outmatched. The violence feels raw and unglamorous, almost documentary-like in its realism. It's not about flashy choreography, it's about survival. The suffering matters. Every blow has weight. Through these trials, Dunk grows. We see the shift in him. The naive dreamer who wanted to wear armor for glory begins to understand what knighthood truly demands. Leadership is not about titles, it is about responsibility. And by the final episode, there is a visible loss of innocence in his eyes. He is still honorable but now tempered by experience. The dream remains, yet its meaning has evolved. Egg's journey runs parallel but carries its own complexity. Away from his powerful family, he shows compassion, wit, and even vulnerability. But when confronted with his lineage and the brutal expectations of House Targaryen, glimpses of something darker surface. The show subtly hints that the same intellect that makes him admirable could, under different circumstances, make him dangerous. In Westeros, power always carries the risk of corruption. What truly sets this series apart, however, is that in just one season it has managed to achieve something that House of the Dragon has yet to fully accomplish: emotional intimacy without relying on spectacle. While House of the Dragon delivers scale, dragons, and dynastic conflict, it often struggles to make its characters feel personally accessible beyond their political motivations. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, on the other hand, makes you feel every bruise, every doubt, every small moral victory. It reconnects the audience with the human cost of ambition rather than the grandeur of it. In only 6 episodes, it captures the grounded, character-driven magic that made early Game of Thrones unforgettable. Ultimately, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms succeeds because it prioritizes character over spectacle. Its drama is rooted not in who will sit the Iron Throne, but in who these characters will become. The final episode doesn't explode with scale, it lingers with possibility. Dunk chooses to continue his journey, not as a perfect knight, but as a man searching for purpose. The open fields of Westeros become symbolic: freedom, uncertainty, and hope. If the series maintains this consistency in future seasons, it may well become the most emotionally resonant chapter in the entire franchise. It doesn't aim to be bigger. It aims to be truer. And in doing so, in just one season, it has already achieved a depth and sincerity that other spin-offs are still striving to reach. Subscribe to SuperHeroPro on YouTube as well. Thanks.